You're listening to Business English Pod, the business English podcast for professionals on the move.
Business English Pod is turning 2, and to celebrate, we're giving away an iPhone each month to new premium members. All you have to do is purchase a 6 or 12-month premium membership during May or June of 2008. We'll hold a prize drawing each month, and the winner will receive a brand new iPhone. To learn more, visit www.businessenglishpod.com.
Hello, my name is Jennifer, and this is the second in a 2-part series on resolving conflict, in which we've been focusing on solving everyday disagreements in the office. Ben, a new training specialist at a manufacturing company, feels that he is doing an unfair share, that is, too much, of the work in his department. Jerry, Ben's manager, talks with him to solve the problem. In the first episode, we studied how Jerry opened the discussion in an informal, non-threatening way, and we looked at how he listened actively to Ben to win his trust. In this episode, we'll pay attention to how Jerry and Ben work together to come up with a solution. In particular, we'll focus on how they state common goals, raise concerns, and agree action. Where we left off last time, Jerry had just asked a question to resolve the conflict. Jerry wants to know what Ben would suggest doing to fix the situation. As you listen, try to answer the following questions. The correct responses will be posted in a few days on our website. 1. What solution does Ben propose? 2. In which area does Ben feel he could make a real contribution? 3. What action do Ben and Jerry agree on?
Well, what are your views? How do you think we should deal with this?
Well, for the sales trainings, for example, don't you think that we could get their team to help out a little? I mean, after all, we've all got the same objective.
Yes, that might be worth a try. And I think the IT folks could also step up to the plate.
Yeah, that would free me up quite a bit and give me a bit more time for course planning. And to be honest, I don't feel like I'm being given a free enough rein in that area.
And so that's something you'd like to focus on more.
Yeah, I'd really like to take a more active role because I think it's an area where I could make a real contribution.
Sure. Okay, this is what we'll do then. I'll talk to sales and IT and try to get some admin support for the next round of trainings.
Sounds good.
At the same time, we'll tweak the design process a little so you can get more involved.
What do you have in mind?
Well, why don't we start with this? Can you conduct a needs analysis for the IT department and give me a proposal by next Wednesday?
Okay.
Let's get the ball rolling on this and see where we are next week. How does that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Great. Let's give it a shot.
Let's go through the language that Jerry and Ben use to reach an agreement. How does the dialogue begin? Remember, Jerry has just asked Ben what he would suggest to solve the problem.
Well, for the sales trainings, for example, don't you think that we could get their team to help out a little? I mean, after all, we've all got the same objective.
Ben starts out by making a suggestion. He proposes getting the sales team to help out with the sales trainings. We have already studied the language of suggestions in the first episode in this series. Also, you may want to review BEP 30 and 31, which are intermediate-level podcasts that deal specifically with making, accepting, and rejecting suggestions. Next, Ben does something very important. He emphasizes that everyone has shared goals. I mean, after all, we've all got the same objective, he says. Stating common goals is an important part of resolving conflict. It helps participants in a disagreement to see the bigger picture and reminds them that they share interests. What are some other ways to state shared goals?
We're all in this together.
We're all working towards the same goal. We're all on the same side.
Everyone agrees on the fundamental objectives.
How does Jerry react to Ben's suggestion to get the sales department to help out with training?
Yes, that might be worth a try. And I think the IT folks could also step up to the plate.
To step up to the plate, as we learned in BEP 57 and 58 sports idioms, means to take the initiative, to take an active role in doing something, or to take responsibility for something. Jerry says, yes, that might be worth a try. He is agreeing with Ben's suggestion here and expressing satisfaction with this approach. Giving voice to this kind of agreement is an important part of resolving conflict. What are some other ways to do this?
Great suggestion.
I really think that's a good idea.
I like that approach.
I'm glad you suggested that.
That sounds like it might work well.
How does the dialogue continue? Ben gives a reason for wanting other departments to help with training. He says the IT and sales department's assistants would free him up or give him more time to do course planning. Then he raises a concern, that is, he brings up another area of disagreement. Listen.
And to be honest, I don't feel like I'm being given a free enough rein in that area.
And so that's something you'd like to focus on more.
As Jerry did to open the discussion during the first episode, Ben uses an idiom and qualifiers to raise his concern in an informal, non-threatening way. He says, to be honest, he is not being given quite enough of a free rein. For a full discussion of the free rein idiom, see the study notes at www.businessenglishpod.com. Meanwhile, Jerry continues to listen actively so that Ben knows he is paying attention. Even when one problem has already been solved in a discussion, we may need to bring up other issues. Let's study some more useful language for raising a concern.
Actually, there is something else that I think might be worth mentioning.
While we have a chance to talk, let me just bring up one other minor point.
Just let me mention one more thing, if I may.
In the next part, Ben provides reasons for why he would like to get more involved in course planning. He would like to take a more active role because it's an area where he could make a real contribution. For practice and example sentences of these useful collocations, be sure to check out the study notes. How does the dialogue continue? Jerry is ready to agree on action.
Sure. Okay, this is what we'll do then. I'll talk to sales and IT and try to get some admin support for the next round of trainings.
Sounds good.
At the same time, we'll tweak the design process a little so you can get more involved.
As Ben's manager, Jerry has the authority and responsibility to decide what action to take. Nevertheless, he is careful to include Ben and emphasize teamwork by using we. Okay, this is what we'll do then. And at the same time, we'll tweak the design process. To tweak something is to modify it slightly. Jerry wants to change work processes to ensure Ben has an opportunity to get more involved in, that is, work more closely on course design. Agreeing action is a very important part of resolving conflict. Let's review some phrases we can use.
All right, here's what we'll do.
Here's a way we can move forward.
Here's what we'll do to tackle this problem.
Tackle in the last sentence means to solve. This idiom was also covered in BEP 57. What's Jerry's plan? He would like to have Ben do a needs analysis of the IT department. Needs analysis refers to researching the needs of a group to understand how to serve them better, or, in this case, what kind of training to provide. How does Jerry finish the discussion? Notice that he is careful to plan follow-up action.
Let's get the ball rolling on this and see where we are next week. How does that sound?
By planning follow-up, we can ensure that everyone knows we are sincere about solving the problem, and of course give ourselves an opportunity to check that the solution is working. In planning action, Jerry uses informal, idiomatic language to continue in the non-threatening tone of the conversation. He says, "Let's get the ball rolling on this and see where we are next week." To get the ball rolling means to get started. How does Ben respond?
Sounds like a plan.
Great. Let's give it a shot.
Sounds like a plan means let's do that. And let's give it a shot is similar to let's give it a try. It means let's try it out and give it our best. Finally, let's review some other expressions we can use to plan action.
Let's try this out, then meet again in a month's time to take stock.
Let's get the ball rolling and get back together in a couple of weeks to see how it's going.
Let's start with this and see how it works. We'll check again next Tuesday to see if there's been any change.
To take stock means to analyze results. Now it's your turn to practice. You are the team leader. An employee has come to you with a problem. You've decided what to do, so it's time to agree action. You'll hear a series of cues that state the action you'd like to take. After the beep, use the language we've studied to agree on what to do. Remember to use we to emphasize teamwork. For example, if you hear, "Take a 15-minute coffee break in the afternoon," you might say, "All right, here's what we'll do. Let's take a 15-minute coffee break in the afternoon." Other language you can use is, "Here's a way we can move forward," and "Here's what we'll do to tackle this problem." After each exercise, you will hear an example answer.
Hold weekly team meetings to build team spirit.
Example answer. Here's a way to move forward. Let's hold weekly team meetings to build team spirit.
Get everyone together to discuss the problem.
Example answer. Here's a way we can move forward. Let's get everyone together to discuss the problem.
Now let's review some useful language. You'll hear a series of sentences. In each sentence, one word is blanked out with a beep. Repeat the sentence, but say the missing word. For example, if you hear,
"We're all in this,"
you will say,
"We're all in this together."
We're all on the same. Answer. We're all on the same side.
I'm. You suggested that. Answer. I'm glad you suggested that.
Just let me mention one more thing, if I... Answer. Just let me mention one more thing, if I may.
Let's try this out, then meet again in a month's time to take. Answer. Let's try this out, then meet again in a month's time to take stock.
Let's get the ball and get back together in a couple of weeks to see how it's going. Answer. Let's get the ball rolling and get back together in a couple of weeks to see how it's going.
That concludes this two-part series on resolving conflict. We've studied non-threatening language for opening the discussion and for raising concerns. And we've looked at building trust by listening actively and stating common objectives. Also, we've practiced making suggestions, expressing satisfaction, and agreeing action. Be sure to check out the study notes for this and other podcasts at www.businessenglishpod.com. And if you're not already a member, you can sign up for a free trial and explore all the online resources in the Learning Centre. Thanks for listening.
Want to get more out of Business English Pod? Then go to www.businessenglishpod.com and sign up as a premium member. Premium members can access detailed study notes and the new Phrasecast to practice all the useful language we featured today.